Welcome to another episode of
The car podcast. That's what we should be calling
Yes,
this thing.
Rhythm of Love Cardcast. Good to have you joining us while we're in the car yet again.
Yet again. Yet again.
So
We've been down for a couple of weeks. We had some health things we had to work through. But before we talk about that, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this podcast. And I'm Clarence.
and I'm Yalonda,
Yes, there we go. Oh, sorry. Bumps on the road.
and this is the Rhythm of Love Podcast.
Not like boots on the ground.
We're gonna start with the song of the episode.
Oh, yeah.
Is
The Spooks.
Ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-dum.
Mama's
So
Gun.
one night we were
Oh, yes.
lying in bed. We had just gotten in the bed, just turned off all the lights and TV, and all of a sudden, Clarence says, "Alexa, play
The Spooks.
The Spooks by Mama's Gun." I was like, "What? This guy, he's always trying to find some craziness out there in the world." But
Turned out to be a
turns
great
out
song.
to be a really good song. If you haven't heard it, we hope you check it out. Got a little tidbit for you here, but it has become one of my late favorites.
Yes, as we dip into the new age stuff, the newer age stuff. It's a good song. I think it's about 5 or 6 years old now, but
Okay.
it's still a very good song by
Yes.
by Mama's Gun.
Mama's Gun. And it's very timely because the song, or timely for us, so we can relate to the lyrics, whatever I'm trying to say, because the song is talking about sometimes getting the spooks. You wonder if this relationship will last. You wonder if we'll make it through this latest argument, this latest catastrophe, or
Yeah.
and
The issue that they're having in the song is distance. And I'm not sure if that distance
like
is
it's
physical or
emotional
metaphorical.
I think it's emotional distance.
Oh, you think it's a metaphorical
opinion.
distance. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I can see that. I can
Right.
certainly see that.
So you guys tell us what you think. If it's a literal distance, the person moved far away. I don't think that that's the case, but
Or is a metaphorical distance.
yeah,
Okay.
emotional distance, not even metaphorical, but yeah, okay, metaphor for distance because we're right next to each other, but yet we feel so far apart.
All right.
Which reminds me of another song I really like, Grown Woman song by Jill Scott. I could be alone. I could be lonely.
Whenever you're around.
I am lonely. Yes,
whenever
lonely whenever you're around. Sorry, Jill. Oh, but yes, that metaphorical distance. Speaking of metaphorical distance, I think that's what our topic is today. So I had a conversation with a very close friend. We haven't talked about anything that the internet has ruined or that the any 3Bs lately.
We'll get to those.
We haven't had a lot of time. Yes, on our car cast, we got to go quick. So I was having a conversation with a very long time friend who actually became a friend, basically spending hours in our home with us. She was one of Simone's aides back when Simone was in
elementary school.
Elementary school. And so she spent a lot of time at our house. She was a young woman, fresh out of college.
She was still in college though.
Oh yeah, was she still in college then?
She was still in college.
And she spent a lot of time with us and apparently was observing us pretty closely.
I didn't know.
Right. So she was single then, and she remained single, but she was at the house recently and she said, I said, Clarence doesn't like it. I don't know how we got here, but Clarence doesn't like it when I say that I think that one of the main reasons our relationship has lasted as long as it has is because of our friendship. And she's like, "What? Are you serious? I think that is the most valuable thing about your relationship." She said, "I am, I have friends and family who are married. I spend time with other couples." And she was like, "To this day, I still have not experienced a couple that has the friendship that you have, the ability to talk about anything." She's like, "That whole idea of one of you leaving the house and calling the other on the phone, not just for, do you need me to pick up some eggs?" But like having a full on conversation as if you didn't just leave each other.
Right.
She said, I've never seen that happen with any other couple that I've spent time with. Um, she said that I won't say everything that she said. Maybe it'll come up as we talk. So I don't want to spend this whole time being the only one talking. But so and I'm sitting there thinking, like, yeah, why didn't he see the same? You were the main one doing the calling, and we were just conversing, and you always had something to talk about, and I was always a good listener. And I said, wait a minute, did I friend zone my own husband? Because it's not that things were rough in Simone's youngest days, especially. We already had a kind of a shaky foundation when she came along, and then that, all of the things that we had to deal with didn't make that better at first or for a long time. So
So okay,
that was my question.
so that's a good question. So I start off by saying, don't like when you say your friends is probably a oversimplification of my feelings.
Okay.
Around
Okay.
oversimplification. Um, I appreciate that we're friends, that we can have conversation, that there's no topic that's off the table for us. I appreciate that.
Mhm.
So I don't know that I would take that away from what we have, because I think it makes us better.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, I would
So
agree with that.
so I don't have any problem with that. My problem is, or my problem has been at
Uh-huh.
times,
Mhm.
that I don't think you want.
Right.
And so when the friend zone thing is a perfect analogy of it, because you know I have lots of friends that are women that I have friend zone for, especially some before I was married. After I'm married, they're just friends, and I don't treat them the way I treat you. So I don't. They're friend zone for real, because they're just friends, but I don't think about how I can make their day better, or how I can show them my affection towards them, both physically and in other ways.
Right.
So, but I get it. So, and I have learned through hearing other couples and hearing other people talk and hearing other things like that we express our care for each other differently. And sometimes it's not in the way that the person receives it well, to recognize what it is that they're given. So, it only took about, and I said this to you a little bit earlier, it only took about 21 years to figure that out. But that's a long time. That's a long time. It took like 20 years to figure that out.
Crazy.
Um, but
That's crazy.
it just there was lots of things. And some are more personal and private that don't need to be discussed on the podcast. But there was lots of things that said what are we here and what are we doing and what are we not doing and what are the boundaries that we have around this thing. And you know, you get some you get some, as much as we try to resist to say that we're not influenced by the things around us, we are absolutely influenced by the things around us, by what we see on television or what we see in the movies and how they treat each other or how they interact. And you think that if you see it enough times, it,
That must be how it's supposed
that
to
must be
be, or
how it's
how it
supposed to be.
is.
And it's not true 100%, but there's some truth to it, for lack of a better.
I mean, I don't know. You know, there's some truth to it. There could be some truth to it.
It could. How about that? I'll go with
Because I
that.
don't even really know. I think relationships are two people trying to make something work together is so unique to those two people that you know, in movies they kind of put you in, you know, they got 3 or 4 relationship buckets.
Oh. So, do you think you friend zone me?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think I friend zoned you. Um,
So
I,
let me make not a joke, but let me laugh a little bit at that statement, and let me tell you why.
okay,
And I think that there is what we both consider friend and what we both don't consider friend.
okay,
So you know, your level of friend and my level of friend is very different. There's a very few people who you actually call friend, who you actually reach out to, who you actually communicate with, who you actually even talk to. You can be associates with a lot of people. You can be pleasantries with a lot of people, but you don't call a lot of people friend. And that's different from me because I treat, I treat you like a friend until you show me otherwise. And so that means I don't ever have a problem picking up the phone and calling you. I don't ever have a problem, saying happy birthday to you or reaching out to you or those types of connection things that you told me, which is the reason why you told me I'm the manliest woman that you know,
woman.
because of those connection kinds of things that I tend to do with my friends.
Uh-huh.
So when you say you didn't friend zone me, in your opinion, what that says to me is you didn't put me at the level of the people who you consider friend. You put me you put me above that.
Okay.
But that is, for me, that's almost a baseline. Some of those connection types of things are almost like a baseline. So I'm done. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, okay. So if we want to talk intention and impact, the impact is that you felt that I put you in the friend zone, but the intention was not that. I don't think I had an intention either way. I think we talked about this a little bit. It was all about understanding what each of us needed to show that you know that we were to show love and care to each other.
Okay.
And that I think for a lot of that time each of us was crying out for a different thing, and neither of us were getting the fullness that we wanted. Um, and so, I had no intention of just being like, well, we're just roommates, or well, he's like, we're co parenting, but we live together. None of that kind of stuff. It was just the
And those are words that I have said to you.
right. Yeah, those are words that you have said to me. And even when you said them to me at the time, I just couldn't hear them the way that I've heard them more recently. Uh because I was too busy saying well, thinking, you're not doing what I want you to do either. Um so, we are just kind of stuck in a maybe in a friend zone. friends with benefits.
Yeah.
A friends with benefits zone.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah. I'll take that.
Right. Yes.
I'll take that. I'll take
Right,
that definition.
right, to the level of what either of us came in thinking that husband wife would be, but there were benefits. Uh, but that doesn't mean that I still don't value the fact that we do like each other as we do. Like I don't think I'm gonna I'm gonna say something I've never said to you, but you know, you are a person who uh you know, one of your love languages is definitely quality time. And for quality time for you, I like to break that down into like, you know, attention and you know, interest in what you're interested in, and you know, that kind of thing. Being open to having conversations about whatever. And I don't know. I mean, I guess you would have broke it up amongst your various friends because you're if in the scenario in which we aren't married and you just are friends with a you know, I'm just one of your friends. The level of attention that I gave to you, the level of interest in things that I am really, you know, would really have no interest in if you weren't talking about them, you know, all of that to me is you wouldn't have had that from someone else. And I think that's in my opinion, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, that's part of the reason why you chose me. Because we did click like that, where, you know, you never had to feel like I was um rushing you through you like to think out loud, you like to process out loud. I would process with you. Um all those kind of things that you might say to yourself, I could get that from anywhere, but you can't.
So I will agree with you, but everything you said was what you're willing to do to facilitate, you know, my conversations or my things that I wanted to. And
Things that you want to do, where
right.
you want to go, come with me here.
But the issue is a friend would do that, but a friend also should be the one telling you, I want to do this. I want to go here. I want to, this is what I'm thinking, and working the way through that. And that wasn't always the, you weren't all, you are a great receiver of conversation and information. You are a great receiver of those things. You listen and make people feel like you are engaged in what they are saying, but you don't share. Until years later, you don't share. You don't you don't bring you don't bring me into yours.
Yeah.
Now, you do now, but for a very long time, I would say I don't know how you got to the place, this end place where you're saying this to me, and I say, and when I would say, how did we get here? You would be frustrated that I'm questioning where you got to, as opposed to understanding. I just want to understand how you got there. You would take it as me questioning what you have come, the conclusion or the decision that you have come to.
Yeah. No. I do not think that I am a, a great communicator. No, in that way. I have not been. I process a lot internally, and it's not natural for me to include someone in that processing. It's just the way my brain works. It's like I want to have it all worked out before I say it out loud. And then even when say it out loud, I'm not sure what I need to include or not, and some of that is comfort level, with how much do you need to know? How far do we need to walk along this path?
As to what?
Right. And it's not,
As to
trust me,
what?
it is not intentional.
As
It's not
to what?
intentional. Um, and I think it really does go along with feeling a sense of safety that I didn't feel with you until much, much later. So yeah, maybe we were in something of a friend zone, but I think there's value in the
So
possibility that we can make a relationship last, um, because we like each other. Because everybody knows that you're not going to always be head over heels in love with the person that you choose, and that it is life each day sometimes is full of the choice of, and we're gonna make it last one more day. Are we gonna make it last one more day?
right.
And liking to be in each other's presence, I think helped us to finally get to the point where, you know, I, I felt like I could open up in ways that I hadn't felt like I could for, I guess, for 20 years.
21 years to be exact for me.
Easy.
21 years.
That's so crazy. It's what's crazy. I mean, that time goes by really quickly. And I know everybody, people are saying, I see a lot or hear a lot of people saying that, don't waste time on people who as aren't giving you what you're giving you back what you're giving them. And I think that is, you could be flippant about that, and every relationship can be chucked into that, regardless of how important it might be. But I think sometimes if you really do want to do the work of keeping that relationship, then
Simone saved our marriage. In my mind, Simone saved our marriage.
okay,
Um,
I won't disagree with that.
because Simone has such a difficult childhood with all of the things we had to deal with that I would never leave and leave you having to carry that burden by yourself.
Right.
And I'm gonna do what I can. I'm not gonna say I always did to not be an asshole while I'm there. I'm not gonna say I always did, but I'm gonna do what I can to not be an asshole while I'm there. But
That was real hard for you. That was real hard for you.
but that is kind of the thing that
So
they put a
if
linchpin for us.
it was, well, I say if it was no money, our relationship would have evolved differently. One,
Sure.
regardless. But putting that to the side, are you saying if there was no money, you would have left?
I don't know. I mean, our relationship would have evolved differently is probably a perfect definition.
Right.
But I don't know. Gotta put y'all on hold because I gotta do this. Okay,
All right.
I'll be right back. All right, and we're back. My wife
I
thinks
keep
the best
trying
friend.
to tell him all you have to do is just clip the two videos together. No one ever has to really know that we walked away from the phone for a while. But anyway, yes. So you were saying that Moni was the linchpin in keeping our relationship together, and I just think that some of the issues that we had, I would hope that we would have been able to work them out sooner had we not had Simone. There would have been that,
So I
would've
can
been-
I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
she complicated things a lot.
Yeah, I can agree with
But
that.
then also she was the glue.
She was the glue. She was the glue for sure.
I don't think. I suppose we can wrap it up. I think we've said what can be said on this topic, unless you have some more you would like to add.
I don't know that I think so, but
Okay.
it just we both had to learn how to be affectionate
In the way
that it could be received by the other person.
Yeah, that was a blockage for us.
Right. Because, I can't tell you how you define engagement or showing that you care, but I can tell you how I defined it, which was, being present, physically present, making sure that everything was taken care of from a where we from a housing standpoint. Maybe it's a little maybe it's a little machismo, toxic masculinity type of thing, but just I don't want to use. I hate to use the terms that people use on the internet. I was the provider and all those things, but just creating what I thought was a safe environment where you never had to worry about any of the
physical lack or physical unsafe.
Right.
Yeah.
I wasn't rough in how I handled you physically. My voice can be a little bit what my voice can be sometimes. I get that. So I didn't know that I wasn't making you feel comfortable or safe, because in my mind, everything I was doing was to make you safe.
And that's what I say. That physically, yes, I did feel safe. I never felt like you would harm me physically, or we always lived in the safe neighborhood, and all those type of things. I didn't have to be on my own doing any kind of heavy lifting or anything like that. It was just kind of the emotional um, lack of safety, and it was emotional roughness in my experience, and kind of a disconnection there that I felt like I didn't know how to say for a long time. I didn't even know how to express that. Uh, so, but now looking back, I know that that's what it was. And when you say questioning, that was pretty much the whole thing. Like, I didn't feel like you accepted my feelings on such and such and such, or even my thoughts on such and such and such, without needing this elaborate essay written on them. And it's just not the way I had ever expressed myself. And that was new to me.
Right. I mean, and I'm learning it a lot with the kid, with Brooklyn Bounds, and that just because I say it, it's not a challenge, and that's what
it feels like.
It feels like a challenge, and it's not a challenge. It is It is
It doesn't feel like curiosity.
It's not-
If it is curiosity, it doesn't feel like
Right.
curiosity.
it's exploratory, but I wouldn't call it curiosity because to me, curiosity is without any goal. That's the way I see it.
I mean,
That's the way I feel.
the goal is to learn. The goal is to understand. The goal is to hear.
Yeah.
See, that's not a
Goal
goal.
of curiosity.
That's, yeah. I understand that.
Right.
That's
Not
not
really a
if you-
goal to me.
If the goal is to understand, so the goal was not for you to understand either. But the goal was to get to a question, a prompt that needed to be solved.
Right. The goal is to,
Yeah.
even if you understand, what are you doing with that understanding? What are you going to do? You know, you want to understand.
Right. You
But-
do want to understand for a reason,
But
but
to
you
what?
can't understand if you don't leave time to understand. So I mean, we're just saying words that we're saying the same thing, but I've used the word curiosity. But not curious just for the sake of curiosity. Like, oh, okay, but to take the next step or um, solve a problem or whatever. Yes, but I think when I say curiosity, I just mean asking without the judgment already rolled into the question. Like, like it wasn't like what do you mean? Say more. It was more like,
What do you mean?
how do you say? What could you possibly?
See,
How could you get there?
that's,
You know,
and then that's all. That's all what you infer.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I had to learn that it was,
That's a different.
It sounds like I don't agree. So help me agree.
And I don't.
Not help me understand. Like it's more like convince me that what you're saying makes sense. And that's challenging.
Okay. And yeah, all I would
You
say
grew
was
up in a
I
household-
don't really see anything I have
Because that was how you grew up. That was how you grew up. Y'all were, that was part of your way to communicate. And it was that mainly because my parents weren't really asking any questions. Or mainly because that a lot of times when my mom would ask questions, it was like what were you thinking, which already has a judgment in it. She didn't ask questions until you were in trouble. So even just to be asked, what do you think, what do you how do you plan to fill in the blank, what do you want. Those questions were asked until you were in trouble. So maybe that's why I just, relate being questioned to being judged as well.
I mean, my thoughts on that are that you don't like, and when I say you, I mean you and our child process it the same way. You're not. This is the way I think about it. You don't want anyone to question what you have decided because you have thought it through in your head and come up with what's coming out the other side of whatever this situation is. You don't want to be questioned on. Your mom is the same way.
To be questioned is to be challenged. Put it that way.
Okay.
I mean, if someone's, just asking, someone asking because they know they need to fix it is different. You going in like, I know I need to fix this, so tell me what you were trying to accomplish, because it, you're not thinking it through.
And you add all of this feeling and all of these other things into what is just a goal oriented. I understand. So I try to be better now with my phrasing, but
It's not just the phrasing. It also is. It starts with the tendency to correct. Like, I'm just going to correct you anytime I think that you're doing something wrong. Like, why'd you make that left? We could have got there if you da 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 da. Are we getting there? Then you don't have to comment on my left. Or
so again, I hear you, but you're saying everything I say is challenging, but I think also it is the desire to not be questioned. See, I don't mind being questioned. You can say to me any of those things that you just said, and it'll be fine. You don't think that's true?
I think your issue is a different issue.
I agree. I agree.
My
issue is a different issue.
Yes, your issue is more along the lines of, if I'm not asking you for your opinion, I don't need it, which is very similar.
Not similar.
It's similar, like, to if you feel strongly about something and I say out loud, oh well, da da da, and say what I think about it. It's like, why you have to insert that?
That's your fault.
Yes.
All right. Sorry. I know that
You don't have
I do have.
What is the sorry? They don't
My
wait.
apologies.
They don't wait 1 second though. They don't wait unless you make them wait. Anyway, right, exactly.
So anyway, all right. So yes, we figured out. I don't specifically encourage unsolicited advice
or unsolicited disagreement.
I'm not sure.
Whatever. Nobody solicits disagreement, but it happens, and it rubs you a little bit the wrong way. I don't know, not, but not on important stuff. It just mostly rubs you the wrong way on stuff that is just a matter of opinion anyway. I don't know. But anyway, so yes, we have correctly identified the issues, and we can each bring it up to each other. It's like, you see what you did there?
Yes.
And so, what you can take away is that relationship is always work, to do. So,
but now this has been about 40 minutes of interrupted car podcasting, casting.
Thank you for your time and attention, and please, comment on in the comments, what is something that you and your spouse have to continue to work through, or you and anybody you're trying to maintain a good relationship with. Some hangups or some challenges that keep coming up again and again, and you have to continue to do the work to put them away.
Yeah.
Put them in their place.
Yeah.
Not the person, to all the things that come up. So, thanks for listening again. Please tune in. Oh, you had something else to say?
Yeah, I was going to please tune in on Sunday.
Yes, please tune in on Sunday nights on Twitch. We hope that you will cross over to Twitch from YouTube. There's some hang up between going from one social media to another. It's like, I got the one that I like, but we do have lots of fun on Sunday nights, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Time, on twitch.tv/DJ C#.
Yep.
Love ya. Do a heart with me like that.
So trying to drive, park, do all those things,
And be
and be safe.
okay. Peace. Take care, everybody.
We hope you've enjoyed another exciting episode of Rhythm of Love, the podcast, hosted by Clarence and Yalonda Lewis.
Theme song by Kendra R.
Book graphics by Rihanna Denise.
More information is available at cylentertainment.com.
Please join us on Sunday nights for our live stream on twitch.tv/DJC Sharp.